Hello, this is your third tutorial on the grammar point interrogative words. You already have the first broad brushstrokes that I painted with the PowerPoint already up on the learning modules. And you also have your book's tutorial and podcast, as a tutorial and podcast. Now I'm going to simply read through the book's grammar lesson with questions. We use different words at the beginning to direct the question into new territory. So if you're asking where, you'll use où. Whether you're using the inverted form, où es-tu, or où est-ce que tu es. In general, with être, you don't say où est-ce que tu es. You would just say où es-tu, où habites-tu, or où est-ce que tu habites is a better example. Quand, when. Quand es-tu là? When are you here? Or quand est-ce que tu arrives? When are you coming? Que, or que apostrophe before a vowel, is for what. For example, if you're saying you're watching what? Tu regardes quoi? You would say que regardes-tu in the proper French, as opposed to tu regardes quoi, which is an informal way of saying you're watching, what? What are you watching? Que regardes-tu? But if you were to say you're watching what program, you would use quel, which is over here. Quel, which is an adjective. We call this an adjective. Tu regardes quel programme? Tu regardes quel match? Tu regardes quelle émission? There's qui, whom, as opposed to what. If you say que regardes-tu, you're saying, what are you watching? Qui regardes-tu? Who are you watching? Now, if you say, à qui penses-tu? À qui donnes-tu le cadeau? Then you're saying, to whom? De qui parles-tu? Who are you talking about? If you have a word like parler de quelque chose, and you say, what are you talking about? You have to say, de quoi parles-tu? Or, tu parles de quoi? You can't say, de que parles-tu? Combien de is used before something that you want to quantify. Combien de frères as-tu? Combien de frères est-ce que tu as? How many brothers do you have? Comment, you've learned from the very beginning. Comment vas-tu? Comment t'appelles-tu? Comment il est? How is he? Elle est comment? How is she? Physiquement ou moralement, elle est comment? Elle est triste, elle est heureuse. Pourquoi is why. And it always leads to the answer parce que, because. And then quel is which. We've learned it like quel âge as-tu? Which age do you have? Quelle heure est-il? Which of all the hours of the day which one is it? Quelle heure? Quel temps fait-il? Of all the different weather reports we can have, which one is it? Quel temps fait-il? The book gives you some examples. Combien de vélos est-ce que vous avez? Que faites-vous ici? Combien de vélos est-ce que vous avez? How many bikes do you have? Que faites-vous ici? What are you doing here? Some examples with qui. Qui va à la campagne? Qui est-ce que tu regardes? Do you notice something? When you have qui va à la campagne, qui is the subject of the sentence. Qui va à la campagne? Qui est-ce que tu regardes is the direct object. Tu regardes qui, right? Who are you looking at? Or whom are you looking at, they say. Qui est-ce que tu regardes? Qui aimez-vous? Who do you like? In qui va à la campagne, who is the subject. Who is going to the countryside? With qui aimez-vous, the subject is vous. Vous aimez qui? Qui is the object of the verb. Qui, with prepositions, can be avec qui, de qui. You have to know what the verb is doing to phrase the question correctly. You have to be conscious of the fact that you're saying tu parles avec qui. Avec qui est-ce que tu parles? Or tu parles de qui? About whom are you speaking? De qui parles-tu? Or de qui parlez-vous? Informal question words may be used alone. For example, j'ai envie d'aller au lac. Quand? J'ai envie d'aller quelque part. Où? Or you've also seen sometimes comment. If you want someone to come again, how is it? What? How? Comment? Quand et à quelle heure can both mean when. You use quand to inquire about a day, date, season, or year. Use à quelle heure to inquire about a particular time or hour of the day. So this explanation is a bit different from my interpretation, where I say of all the different times of day there can be which one. À quelle heure est-ce que tu pars? Quand est-ce que tu pars? Quand allez-vous faire du ski cette année? It's as if quand is less precise. It's more of an open question where the person can respond any way they want. But if you say, à quelle heure est-ce que nous partons? You're limiting the person's response to which hour. There's a little bit about pourquoi et parce que. You can use pourquoi by itself or in a sentence. And here are some examples of quel. They all sound the same, but they are written differently, whether you are using quel linked to a masculine or feminine noun. So, quel âge as-tu? It translates how old are you, but it's really which age are you? Do you have? Which age do you have? Quel âge as-tu? Quelle est ta spécialisation? Quelle accompanies spécialisation. Quels sont tes cours favoris? Tes cours, masculin, pluriel. So, quel is spelled Q-U-E-L-S. Quelles sont les bonnes plages? Which are the good beaches? Plage, c'est féminin, pluriel. And here's a little going further. Pour aller plus loin, quoi? To ask what in French, you actually have a few options. Quoi, comment, ou pardon. You use quoi with friends and family. And if you want something to come again, if you would like someone to repeat, you would either say comment or pardon. All of the activities are assigned from this part because I think this part of the book is wonderful. It's a wonderful source of vocabulary. It's a wonderful demonstration of sentence structure. You have questions with esca and you have questions with the inversion. Inversion keeps you on the toes and keeps you conscious of where your first conjugated verb is and what the second conjugated verb is and whether or not you're using prepositions after the verb. And you have examples of sentences with IR, our new verbs, IR verbs, and just examples of different questions. In a way, with questions, you recognize them, and with this grammar lesson, you become conscious of them. You become conscious of how they're put together so that you can produce questions and not just respond to other people's questions. And in a way, you memorize stock questions. There are stock phrases. Comment vas-tu? There are stock questions. Quel âge as-tu? Quelle heure est-il? Voilà. And then, of course, you have just really wonderful, you have different matching. And I like this one, la préparation du cours. Complétez chaque question et puis posez les questions à deux étudiants différents. N'oubliez pas de jouer les deux rôles. So imagine I'm playing both roles. Blank, étudiez-vous. dans le silence, devant la télé, sérieusement, avec des amis. See all the different ways you could respond to the question. Comment étudiez-vous? Moi, j'étudie dans le silence. Moi, j'étudie devant la télé. Moi, j'étudie sérieusement. Moi, j'étudie avec des amis. Blank, commencez-vous vos devoirs? Dans l'après-midi, dans la soirée. You see, in this one, it's quand commencez-vous vos devoirs? Dans l'après-midi, dans la soirée. It's not as precise as, or it's less precise than, à quelle heure commencez-vous vos devoirs? Blank temps passez-vous sur vos devoirs? 30 minutes, 1 heure, 2 heures. So, combien de temps? How much time? Blank finissez-vous vos devoirs? Quand finissez-vous vos devoirs? Avant 19 heures? Vers 20 heures? Vers 22 heures? Après minuit? You have some good examples of questions in this one. Combien de camarades de chambre avez-vous? Que pensez-vous du restaurant universitaire? Avec qui aimez-vous sortir? Où allez-vous normalement le week-end? Quel est votre film préféré? These are all questions you would ask someone in a conversation. Voilà. Vous allez travailler et vous allez faire beaucoup d'attention à la structure des phrases. Vous allez écouter les phrases, écouter les questions. Vous allez penser à la structure des phrases. Dans le prochain chapitre, nous allons commencer à composer des phrases au passé composé. Lorsqu'on parle au passé composé, lorsqu'on utilise le passé composé, il faut avoir de belles phrases, une structure des phrases très très solide. Voilà, bon courage.